Alpha OneTV, the master TBS as some cosmosa, so because all the latest nabro, Menko Bia. Yes, celebrate a dear fan in chimney and kind of one chamway. Friday, any beto just say NIB. Ne among Crawford no, Akwatia MP, and Neskumi or any constituency. Just say if it's bra a year Kuforidia High Court, Eddie ruling by say, among the bench warrant at Tonosono, no Granny. Kwe oko parliament mpon no wasesa ne nema or the new CC ko by crampus allegedly no nkofie na parliament house or no office or no hon order arches na nyansen beto na no na NI before the ekupimo no constituency arches the hon report here the ebro now so the way nema si eba no akwa say all hope is lost for this MP Akwatia MP Neskumi Wama afenyuma kendini yodum sama ne ho ya akire no asem kese na ye ne eba abeto no na eye Wednesday eda enemy Supreme Court edi ruling biba na enim de besi na so eniama eboboba no allegedly timse be hu ye ba na we are all looking say this MP emra eneni bedi Nima ben ebekoso Supreme Court or yankunkwiti any NIB and Crawford mo call a yenny constituency one. I drink Kurane take the call no yankunkwiti sa information.
Kumi, who is facing a bench warrant, dodged arrest by the hair. The National Investigative Bureau beseeched the officers of the NPP in Akwatia to pick up the MP. The incident drew the attention of a crowd of onlookers and supporters of Kumi, who was in the constituency to participate in Juma prayers. It is unclear why the arrest didn't happen as the NIB personnel drove off amidst a jeering mob. Look at this. We just saw a jeering mob and the personnel of the NIB driving off after failing to discharge that bench warrant. But let's get the details of this story. Yvonne Ikwe has been following it. She's joined us with a bit more. Yvonne is Eastern Region correspondent. Yvonne, talk to us about this incident. But first, tell us, where is NS Kumi tonight?
Good evening, Kamani. The whereabouts of the Akwatia MP, NS Kumi, is not clear. We're not sure whether he's still in the constituency after today's issue that has happened, or probably his move. Now, what we're seeing on our screens, or what happened today, was as a result of the altercation between some party members and residents who were resisting unidentified men, supposedly from the National Investigative Bureau, who had tracked the MP from the Akwatia Central Mosque to the party office after he joined the Muslims for the Ramadan activities. Now, these men were hoping to get the MP, but they were not successful because of the resistance from the party people and the residents. This has become an issue in the constituency. We do know that there's an easy calm in the constituency because those for the MP have resisted and have vowed to resist any attempt on his arrest, while the others too were probably hoping that the ruling as given would be adhered to. But I must say that as it stands now, we do not know which laws is governing the men to get the MP, because as at the last ruling by the Supreme Court, they have staged the proceedings by the Koforidua High Court. And so we're hoping to follow through to see exactly what would happen. Now, before today, after the December 7th elections, coalition for that constituency did not end, and the coalition had to be done in Accra. Following that, the Electoral Commission duly declared NS Kumi as the MP elect with some 90,000 votes, while the NDC's candidate Henry Boachi had some 17,000. The NDC did not agree with the process of coalition, hence filed an interim injunction at the Koforidua High Court. That interim injunction was upheld by the Koforidua High Court, meaning that NS Kumi could not have gone to Parliament to be sworn in as MP for the January 7th swearing-in exercise. The court held that that action and his non-appearance in court amounted to contempt, hence his conviction and bench warrant for his arrest. His counsel, Gary Mako, had filed a motion at the Supreme Court seeking an order of certiorari to ensure that every ruling made by the Koforidua High Court is quashed. The Supreme Court is yet to determine whether to listen to the matter or not, but has staged proceedings. So this is where we are now, Kevin.
Absolutely, Yvonne. And I want us to go back to that period at the Supreme Court. This is the petitioner's lawyer, Bernard Bediako Beidu. Listen, Yvonne, stay with me here. I want us to find out from you. We know that the NIB had gone there to pick up the Honorable Member of Parliament for Akwatia, NS Kumi. In the end, NS Kumi didn't go with them. Do we know what happened between those two events?
Well, like I earlier on explained, the arrest as by the alleged personnel from the National Investigative Bureau did not happen because some party members and some residents who were present at the party office resisted the action.
So it's not the case. It's not the case, Yvonne. It's not the case that the MP had told the NIB he will turn himself in.
Okay, so if I get you right, we're asking if indeed the MP did say that he would turn himself in as agreed. Well, I cannot be able to clarify that comment as allegedly mentioned by the MP himself, because we haven't had official engagement with him. But we did know that the arrest did not happen. And so we're hoping that before March 12th, when the Supreme Court would recall the matter, he would duly do as he's been allowed to say.
Very well. So Yvonne, stay with me again, because I'll come back to you. I want us to understand what the law says or how the law applies when it comes to the arrest of an MP. We all know about the immunities they have, but in events like this, could an arrest of this nature be done because of the existing bench warrant? Let's take a look at what the law says quickly. Civil or criminal processes coming from any court or place out of Parliament shall not be served on or executed in relation to the Speaker or a member or the clerk to Parliament while he's on his way to, attending at, or returning from any proceedings of Parliament. I guess the key phrase there, he is on his way to, attending at, or returning from any proceedings of Parliament. And indeed, in the current standing orders of Parliament, there is provision that if an MP is arrested, and this does not apply at the time, there is a time frame within which the Speaker of Parliament should be immediately informed. In fact, it goes on to say that when the mace of the Speaker goes to wherever the arrest is taking place or wherever the said MP is being detained, then a release must be followed after that. So there's a lot of provision around this. So the question we'll ask tonight is whether or not his presence in his constituency has anything to do with attending to or returning from proceedings of Parliament. Now, that's something I want you to think about. In the meantime, let's go back to Yvonne real quick. Yvonne, so talk to us. We saw that the incident drew a lot of attention, onlookers and supporters alike. How is the party responding to this attempted arrest?
Well, the party from the region and the constituency is yet to officially speak on the issue. But between the time the incident happened and afterwards, they haven't been happy at the turnout of events, especially when they do know that the Supreme Court has stayed proceedings by the Koforidua High Court. They're wondering exactly who the people were, why they keep tracking the MP in the constituency. So they're seeking answers, but that really they have vowed that as long as the MP comes into the constituency.
So Yvonne Nikwe is our Eastern Region correspondent. We'll continue to follow this story and bring you updates as they emerge, whether or not the MP finally, or, let me put it this way, whether or not that bench warrant is finally discharged by the arresting authorities. Now, remember also, Wednesday is just around the corner. The Supreme Court will have to attend to that matter or decide whether or not it will attend to NS Kumi's appeal at all. Now, well, not an appeal. He wants to quash the High Court ruling. Now, let's move on to a related matter. That the High Court in Techiman has dismissed the election petition filed by the NDC parliamentary candidate Christopher Beyere, challenging the election of Martin J. Mensah Kosa as being invalid since the petitioner failed to apply for security for costs to be determined and paid within the period prescribed by law in line with Section 18.2 of the Representation of the People Law 1992, PNDC Law 284. I don't know why the lawyers are making me read a lot of this tonight, but let me explain that to you. Let's look at it quickly. We'll quote directly from the Constitution. An election petition shall be presented within 21 days after the date of the publication in the Gazette of the results of the election to which it relates, except that a petition questioning an election on an allegation of corrupt practice and specifically alleging a payment of money or the award to have been made by the person whose election is questioned or to have been made on his behalf to his knowledge may be presented within 21 days after the date of the alleged payment. The presentation of an election petition under subsection 1 shall not be valid unless within the time specified in subsection 1 the petitioner gives security for costs. So if you waste the respondent's time or the cost time, that is the security of costs there, which should have been paid, and that was not done by the petitioners in the case of the election petition on the Techiman South recently concluded elections in the 2024 race. So that security of course was not done. Security for course was not done, and for that reason the matter could not proceed in the High Court. So that's it for related matters. Let's look at something else now.
For a year 8 seats na NPP one. Fenyo ma Kenya Quenya or the bono asafodom like what the two no we are 90 but we are few 98 no can no sorry no faha veterans just mean my empon I don't know cassette I mean where we just so sorry no you know BB press conference I'm on for to press conference no episode in this series I just say press conference why yes so untimi stop she our parliament untimi build the consensus or ye no BB I say on penny no cast on penna enye and so if it is a parliament 9th parliament in a by no a dear baku be no after new market must stop it in parliament that means ni niama way a casa Kasasa kwa enyenko bebia na will be 183 plus a for a independent candidate then I'll betray independent candidate ni nyina akwadwa ni NDC then I'll betray 88 na sa 88 impo de bono ho yen ho show na namnimpo no NDC force still na ma wini bebre wo still na mo ma seat na ma wini enkokwa still na ECIJ Mensah aye niema bia ensem fata until they want that seat back and found said they have a 2/3 of the year majority in parliament no omon fa ho the intel omon fa ho say after see about those people the whole Ghana the assignment Kesi share John Dramani Mahama and the election team for instance say about on the metro now so we'll make sure some people so they have to protect their vote the nipa kwa moto abama no was some make sure say sa nipa ni mom na acquire den represent in parliament Ni kwa se ko yin power for bi. Ni kwa se ka se oyenya bebre nti no yen fa de aka ne yehwe de bi yen sa de be no. That is the reason why there is still back and forth because of Black Manoff. Utin sema computer man ede baniche say EC led by James Sampeso this city in my NPP for. Nache say amuji free a rabino bin sem. Na so rabino bin no onyanyi na dream. Ono amfa won say NDC for majority in parliament too. She want to build that constituency. She is permitted and I say ofili woni mu say we really that city no. Aboka really sa city no. So any kwanso masa city ni ko waste. They can say oh and this if when be dia am cotton and baby debi. And they want pay computer man on some this city near the Emma MPP for the same thing no. So they want to expose James and say James and nim no people wanting enyemina me will be MP enyemina me will be president no. In some or can in camera no, a different from the attitude behind the scenes. These are the things I cause wa obi ntimi nkasa mention. That is the reason why Jamie buy into government and the first person sacking a James and Crawford. Because nema ni attitude ni dwuma nyina no say on pese peace beba on my ni attitude ni nema bia say the NDC for can almost say or ye dwuma ma NPP for san NDC for eka allegedly. So this attitude it must be stopped. Better stop it. This is GM then in the nice form. No take serious actions. And yes, idea true mami we DBC no ebiana enye de expect wo Ghana no. Ene GM nam other countries omo ku den ahye ho ma no say omoma asumdwen dwodwen de embra ho. Nanso so no yeso ye memu no de ne chese ye pese protect democracy. Then so ye pese protect ye de. Was here so you make sure say the NPC from any pay on PC democracy in bed and stay for long on the east any penny from ansana before it is too late. Because as we speak now, seat I would do NDC for a GF MPP for even though you swear those sit in parliament now almost bare 9.